So Haley, you're a senior here at George Washington University. You serve on the GWU Urban Food Task Force. Could you tell us what that is and what it does and what you achieve?
Well, the Urban Food Task Force is run by Diane Knapp, and it's a combination of faculty and students to talk about how we can do sustainable things on campus related to food. So my role, I'm the manager of the Grow Garden on campus. So it's a 2,700 square foot garden. We grow food and we donate it all to Miriam's Kitchen. So I think my main interest in that, and I think the main success in that, is creating knowledge for both students and people who are walking by the garden every day. I think the main problem in our food system, one of the main problems, is the lack of intimacy with our food, the lack of knowledge that we have, or even the ability to have knowledge about where our food comes from. Whether you're a GWU student or a homeless person walking by the garden, a lot of people walk by and say, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea that a tomato looked like that on the vine." So people don't understand where their food comes from and therefore don't understand how it's produced. And if we were to produce food in a city, I think that food would be produced dramatically different than the way it's produced in rural areas, such as with pesticides, a lot of chemical inputs, that sort of stuff. We wouldn't want that around us, or even what we're growing. If you left, like I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, for example, and to understand where my food comes from, as a child, the closest farm is corn, and it's not really where my food comes from, that's on my plate. So how do I understand what my food looks like if we're not even growing the things that we put on our plate?
So how, you're a very articulate advocate for this transformation. What drew you to this? What was, how did you get involved in all this?
Well, this started for me in high school, actually. I think as kind of every high school girl goes through that stage where she's really self-conscious and wants to be more nutritionally aware. And so I started becoming interested in like calories and protein and that kind of stuff. And then I started reading and realizing that the most important thing for my health is the way the world around me and the way those things affect my body, not in a numerical way, but more in a holistic way. And so I tried to figure out where my food was coming from, and I realized, like I mentioned, it's all corn around me, and what is growing, and how do I get involved with that? So then I came to GW, and the first student org I joined was the Food Justice Alliance, and got my hands in the soil, and here I am.
So this idea, though, of legacy, you're a senior now, and you've been very active in raising the profile of food here. So how does, I assume you're heading off to graduation and to help change the world. So who carries, who carries on the work?
That's really hard. You know, there's students leaving every year. And I've been really lucky to have someone who, you know, was a year ahead of me and taught me everything as I went along. And I'm trying to do the same for a few students, but it's hard. I don't know what will happen. I could leave and everything could stop, which would be really heartbreaking. But
so you do have some mentees you're trying to bring along.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Right.